Before we start this guide, I just want to preface that this channel won't go into the current controversy going on right now with Global. I'm just here trying to make guides, and I'm gonna leave it at that. That being said, I'm going to be talking about the other Storm that's currently in the game, our resident spinning chainsaw waifu, Nanami Storm, or B Nanami for short. If I make any mistakes or forget to mention something, I'll add it in the pinned comment below. Let's jump into it. Nanami Storm is a base B rank armor class structure that deals physical damage and provides defense down on enemies, as well as being able to easily break enemy super armor since she's an armor class structure. I also feel obligated to say this, but just because she's B Nanami and she's not S Nanami doesn't make her any worse. B Nanami can ascend all the way to SSS+ just by obtaining shards in the challenge missions inside of the interlude mode, up to twice daily, and is unlocked around level 45. Alright, let's run through her kit. Her basic attacks deal physical damage in melee range, pretty self-explanatory. Her ultimate drops a force field, defending allies inside, and after the duration ends, it explodes, dealing physical damage. Her QTE deploys Nanami onto the field to Beyblade spin to win on enemies, dealing physical damage and knocking them down. For Nanami Storm's core passive, after proccing 3 of the same orb, the following yellow orb will let her spin to win on enemies 8 times, dealing physical damage. As for B Nanami's Orb Abilities, her yellow orb is just a spin that deals physical damage. Her blue orb is what makes her pretty unique, and that's when activated, Nanami pulls in surrounding enemies and deals physical damage, and enemies hit will have their defense reduced. Nanami will also increase physical defense for a short period. TLDR, this is her CC and defense shred. For Nanami's red orb, Nanami dashes forward, dealing physical damage to enemies in front of her. So basically, it's her gap closer. When B Nanami is the leader of the team, the entire team gets 15% increased defense. As for her Sensing stats, at SS, she gains some basic attack damage and aggro draw when attacking. At SSS, when Nanami triggers her core passive, she gains physical defense, and for her SSS plus Ascension, the team gains damage after Nanami uses her ult for a brief period. B Nanami is an excellent support and physical armor unit. As mainly a QTE support, she mostly pops into the field to provide some slight CC and damage. You have 4-piece Da Vinci on her, she also buffs your main assault structure. She can simultaneously function as a somewhat decent sub DPS, dealing okay damage herself. And a good combo when she's on the field is to try to proc her 3 blue orbs to CC enemies and break their defense, and immediately follow with a yellow orb to deal large amounts of physical damage and knock up enemies with her core passive, and then swapping into your main assault structure to clean up the enemies. For B Nanami's choice of weapons, there's the 4-star weapon, the Noise, which honestly you should minimally invest in. That's because her 5-star weapon, the Lightning Spark, is given for free after completing the novice missions, and actually has a pretty good passive, where it basically further reduces the enemy's defense. Her signature weapon, which is the one I have currently on Nanami Storm, is the Inverse Chimera, which basically allows Nanami to deal physical damage over time. So for builds for B Nanami, you got a lot of choices, meaning I got a lot of stuff to cover, so you may need to replace some parts. For 5-star memories for early to mid game, if you reckon that you don't take too much damage and are using Nanami with an elemental damage dealer like Lucia, Dawn, or Karenina, you can use a combination of 2-piece Grota, 2-piece Voltaire, and 2-piece Ife. 2-piece Grota for enemy elemental resist shred, 2-piece Voltaire for defense down, and 2-piece Ife for more damage. Alternatively, if you do get hit a lot and you're running an elemental team, you can run 4-piece Grota and 2-piece Voltaire or Ife. And 4-piece Grota basically lets you have more elemental resist shred, especially if you get hit, as well as 2-piece Voltaire or Ife for defense down or damage. For physical damage teams, your only optimal choice is 4-piece Voltaire and 2-piece Ife. 4-piece Voltaire for enemy physical resist shred, and 2-piece Ife for damage. And remember to only invest in 5-star memories as much as you need to progress. Don't try to overinvest as stated in my tips video. For 6-star memories, 4-piece Da Vinci and 2-piece Catherine works well for physical teams. 4-piece Da Vinci for double QTE and active character buffs, and 2-piece Catherine for physical defense down for Nanami's QTE or 3 orbs. If she's in an elemental team, 4-piece Da Vinci and 2-piece Grota is your only real choice. And if you're wondering why not 2-piece Einstein instead of Grota, it's because B Nanami's QTE does physical damage, so the set bonus for Einstein won't even proc. And if for some reason you're going main TP as B Nanami, which I don't judge, play the game how you want, I guess you can run 2-piece Ife, 2-piece Irwin, and 2-piece Voltaire for 5-star memories, and 4-piece Barn and 2-piece Darwin for 6-star memories. So now B Nanami Storm is sitting in your character box and you're contemplating whether you should build her or not. Well, if she's your waifu, you probably already started building her anyways. But for the quote-unquote meta players, if you're going to be summoning Alpha or are currently using a physical damage dealer like B Lucia, S Lee, A Bianca, A Watanabe to name a few, she synergizes well with them as a defense down armor unit. Nanami Storm is a great investment in the sense that until Rosetta's launch, which is probably at least half a year away, Nanami Storm, and A Kamui a bit later will be good armor units for physical teams. Nanami can be scuffed as an armor unit for elemental teams for the time being, since there's not that much of a choice for armor units for global at the moment, but elemental teams will eventually get fleshed out with their own elemental armor characters. Holy, that was a lot of information. Sorry this video took so long to get out. With the launch of global and stuff happening IRL, there's never really enough hours in the day, but if you enjoyed, consider subscribing for future videos and guides on the Punishing Grey Raven. Like the video if you found it informative, a dislike if you didn't, comment down below if you have any further questions. I do read and respond to them all, and join my Discord at discord.io/AutogenAutomata to drop video suggestions, join others in co-op, and chill and talk. Thanks for watching, I'll catch y'all in the next video.